Welcome to Whyspace.
Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone. So, on the day that we're recording, I feel that it is important to recognize that today is September 11th. Yes. And it's not a serious podcast, but this day always deserves to be remembered. So, I just wanted to call that out. Because apparently, if you don't call things out in life, people are going to come for you. Or even if you do call things out in life. So, feel free, my DMs are open. Today, we are recording the day of the VMAs. So we don't exactly know how things are going to go. But I did see something, and I don't know if MTV does this all the time because I don't stalk other people's social media. But I saw where MTV announced already today that the best new artist is now down to 3 artists.
Oh.
And so they're asking you to go ahead and vote again. And oddly enough, when I went to click on it, like you can just keep hitting vote. It's really weird. But guess who one of the 3 is?
Is it Gracie?
It's Gracie. Yeah. So when you hear this podcast, we'll know who is one. It's probably Chapel Roan, but whatever.
No.
It's Chapel, Gracie, and Tyla.
Okay.
That's her name. I don't know if they normally do that. I kind of feel bad for the other people that were nominated.
It is weird how it would already drop them out.
Yeah, and it's like they're still wanting people to vote. I don't know, but let's go, Gracie.
Let's go.
I don't think she'll beat Chapel, but I would be so happy. Oh my gosh, I would die.
Yes.
So maybe next week Becca will do this podcast alone because I will have died because Gracie won. I don't know.
For excitement.
We'll see.
Goodness.
We're gonna start with a little Taylor talk, and then we have a lot of football because it is football season.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things that are happening. We're going to check in on some of our predictions from last week.
Yeah.
Check in on our fantasy football team. Some of us did better than others. We'll get there. We'll get there. We're going to answer some questions that you guys had, and then we'll tell you what we're liking and not liking. And I will try to be as PC as possible today on time. Just let y'all know I'm a little feisty today. So who knows where today will take us.
We like a feisty and a spicy Mandy. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This past weekend that we just had in New York City, we had a weekend.
We got so many gifts given to us.
So much. As the kids today say, we were fed.
We were fed.
So let's see, what was the first thing that happened? I guess the first thing that happened was that Taylor and Travis went to dinner, right? That was the first thing that happened?
Yes. She was at the game.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So wait, we went to the game. And then
I don't think we got anything. Well, we got a couple of pictures post-game from Nicole Hartman's fiance.
Yes. They recreated that one picture, which we loved.
Yes.
I think that then the next thing we had was the wedding, right?
Yes, the wedding
in New York. Wedding. Let's not. Hold on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wedding in New York.
Yeah.
And then dinner. Did they have a dinner after or just the reception? It was the reception.
Is that the order in which things happened? No, I think we're wrong. Hello, welcome to the professional podcast. I think what happened was Friday night they went to dinner in New York. Saturday they went to the wedding. Sunday they went to the U.S. Open and dinner.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that was the order. So essentially what we're telling you is we got a lot of content, a lot of pictures.
So much.
They went to a wedding at Electric Lady Studios, which I understand that the guy that got married is the guy that owns Electric Lady Studios. But now having been outside that building before, it's about yay big. And there were a lot of people in this thing. I heard it was on the rooftop, but still, that had to have been a fire code.
Right. Something wasn't in the permits.
Yeah. Now, how did you feel about her dress?
I think it was cute.
It was very reminiscent of the dress that she wore to Jack Antonoff's wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
I think because it was like a lighter color. I heard the dress code was white and black.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because, of course, people on Twitter and stuff hate because that's what you people apparently are living for. And people were like, how dare her wear white to a wedding? Well, that was the dress code.
Right.
Did you happen to notice anything in particular about Trav's shirt?
Okay, I didn't notice it at the time, but I did notice it on the socials when people kept pointing it out. And I was like, that is actually very interesting.
So Vivienne Westwood is a designer who Taylor is very obsessed with, apparently. And a lot of what she wears on the Eras Tour is Vivienne Westwood.
Right.
And she wears this gargantuan diamond monstrosity necklace that is like it kind of looks like a planet is the best way I can describe it. And I'm guessing that that's like a signature Vivienne Westwood thing. I wouldn't know. I can't afford to even write her name on a piece of paper.
I didn't even know she was a thing until Taylor. So.
Yeah, but Trav had on a Vivienne Westwood shirt with the same emblem of that necklace.
But now, do we think it means something, or do we just think
Taylor
likes this designer, so Travis also is now shopping that designer?
Yeah, no, I totally think it's that, because I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what do we know? But I think it's totally that. Of course, people want to speculate, oh, Vivienne Westwood's going to make her wedding dress and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? I mean, I would say it's probably her or Stella McCartney, but like, I don't know. But I just thought it was kind of cute that he did it more than anything. And he was in all black with the greased back hair. How are you feeling about the hair?
I cannot get on board with the hair.
Okay, but what about with the gelled back? Was it better?
No, it looked like he should have been on a car lot selling me a used car that doesn't actually work.
Okay, was it the hair though, or is that the mustache?
Maybe together.
It's just the whole thing, huh?
It's just so weird to have like a zero fade to just halfway. And then you've got like the old man haircut. I need patty cuts to come back, because clearly he's done in the picture right now. And I don't know if he's taking a sabbatical or what's happening, but
there's been a falling out. Like, what's going on?
I can't do it.
Yeah, it was a vibe, as they say. And then in what I found to be the most shocking of events, they went to the US Open. Now, you don't follow tennis, right?
No, I mean, if there's like a big, like Wimbledon or something, I might watch a match or two, but that's about the extent of it.
I don't guess I realized that the US Open probably needs to be on my pop culture bucket list, because
there's some celebrities that show up to tennis.
I mean, it was packed out. I don't know if commoners can even go.
Probably not.
Probably not. I'll probably have to wait till I get my job with Taylor Nation. But so they went with the Mahomes, with two of the Himes sisters, and with Laura Sis, who is her sound engineer, and then Trav's two agents and their wives. And they look like they had a heck of a time. Now, how did you feel about Trav's outfit on that event?
At the US Open?
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with the outfit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I get he was going for a vibe, head to toe Gucci.
Right.
But that hat style has literally never been in style.
No.
Maybe he was like, listen, the hat came with the outfit, and I know my hair looks atrocious, so I'm just going to throw it on and run with it.
You did he exchange the videos where he tried to take the hat off and she was trying to help him, and she's just dying because she's like, there's really nothing we can do.
No.
So it did make me wonder if she like was starting to rethink whatever she's encouraged with the hair.
Well, we've seen pictures from years back when he had grown his hair out and it wasn't the buzz cut, and it looked good. Why can't we take that picture to our barber and be like, do this, but on my head again? Like,
why can we not just go with the norm? The norm is hot.
Yeah. And also, we're in season. This is
let's stop.
Why are we not rolling this out?
It's the mustache for me. I'll deal with the hair, but it's the mustache I don't like.
I am a big fan of facial hair. I love it. I think that men should have it. But you can't have all that scruff right there, because then it's going to rub on me when we're kissing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, tame it down. Surely she's told him. Well, no, because I feel like if she told him to tame it down, he would have.
Pretty sure if she said something, it was done. Just saying. She was wearing the red and white gingham. Did you notice, y'all? I know everyone is looking for dates and everybody's dying for Rep TV. Did you notice that she meticulously adjusted her sunglasses and did like this?
Oh, I don't think I caught that.
Note for the audio. I just realized some of you are listening and not watching. Like, pulled her sunglasses up and like flashed 3 fingers on each hand, so 6. Listen, I understand, guys. I want it too, but come on. Sometimes you just got to pull your sunglasses up. Like,
right. And sometimes you've had a couple of adult beverages and you pull them up in a weird way.
And I feel like if you're Taylor, you've had a lot of the adult beverages. To be so tiny, she can really handle her own. Yeah. And then that night they went to dinner, and again, Gucci amok.
It was a lot of Gucci this weekend, which is not normally
not normal at all.
Like, I thought it was weird when she wore the Gucci label printed dress, because I was
like,
that's not her at all. People with her amount of money don't wear the clothes that have Louis or Gucci tattooed. Yeah.
It was weird.
That's $2 million. That's not for a billionaire.
No. Theirs is like a whole different echelon. But they looked stunning. They looked like they had a fantastic time. I hope that helps with all of you who were so disturbed by the alleged breakup agreement. Like, clearly we're not headed that direction. So
no, but it was fun that we got that much content, because it's been a minute because of the tour and his, training camp and all of that. So it was fun that we got a weekend where they could be out and about, and we got some pictures from it.
Yeah. Speaking of Taylor's style and making our segue to football, at the first Chiefs game, we both talked about it. We thought it was a little weird that she went with shorts.
Yeah.
Not weird that she exposed her legs, because listen,
that's what she does. Yeah.
And as you should when you look like that. What are you thinking for this week? What are you thinking for Sunday?
Okay, so here's my thoughts on Taylor's game day outfits. I think last season they were already in season by the time she started showing up to games. And at that point, everything was new. So she was going to wear like the KC merch stuff. Mm-hmm. This season, I think she's had some time to prepare, and also seen what the other wives and girlfriends wear to games. And it's not necessarily KC stuff. You just get like the fun outfits with pops of the red in there. Yeah. So I think that we are not going to see her in as much of the labeled stuff, but we're going to see some outfits. I think whatever she does this week is still going to be short. I think we're going to show off legs.
It's hot. It's still hot here.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I think she's going to go skirts. I don't think she's going to do a corset again, because I don't think she'd do that 2 games in a row. Yeah. But also it's hot. So I have no idea what direction she could go. What do you think?
Yeah. I do think we saw some content from Kristen Usacek. Is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Does look like she was making her another maybe vest puffy option. Definitely not wearing that this weekend, y'all. It's hot, and it's a midday game. It's like a 3:00 game. I'm going mini skirt because I feel like it's Taylor, and she wasn't wearing them in New York this weekend. So I do kind of wonder if something is up with maybe we're leaving the mini skirt era. I don't know. But I am thinking that, and I'm actually going to say that it's going to be some kind of Chiefs fancy t-shirt. I don't mean like the t-shirt I might own, but some kind of combination of one.
Okay.
We'll see though. I mean, I guess we're assuming that she's going to be there.
Is it a home game or an away game?
It's a home game. I don't want to talk about that either. So let's not go there.
My bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. But it does bring up the topic of football. So we already covered the Chiefs' first game in last week's episode because of them playing early in the week. But there were some other games last week that we wanted to recap and kind of check in on our predictions. Let's kick it off and talk about the Packers and the Eagles. We've been saying all summer that if the Eagles can't win with this roster, they're just going to need to call it a day.
Right.
It was a lot closer than I thought. I will say, so the Eagles ended up winning 34-29. Saquon Barkley went off. 3 touchdowns. Jalen, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions.
Yes.
And then I hate to bring it up. Jordan Love did throw 2 touchdowns and an interception, but it appears that we've got an injury, which I know is not great for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, it's fine. We're pivoting and it's fine.
Okay. We're good. Did you have any thoughts on the game though?
It just felt like there was a lot of, I don't want to say it wasn't injuries, but players on the offense for the Packers were getting banged up during that game. And it was like they had to be out for a couple of plays, have to get retaped. It just, I don't know. It seemed odd that it was the first game. Everybody's getting back into it. I expected them to need to step out to get oxygen or water. I did not expect so many retapings and injuries and all of that stuff. So lots to clean up. The center for Creed Humphrey, That's the center for the Eagles.
Nope. That's the center for the Chiefs.
Yep. Who's the center for the Eagles that I'm missing?
It's the guy that replaced Jason. I can't think of his name.
Can't think of it. But he and Jalen need to do a little bit of
they had some hostile moments on the sideline.
Woo! Yeah. There was a couple of times where I couldn't tell if Jalen was yelling at him on the sideline.
Pretty sure he was
practicing like, hey, this is how it sounds when we're at the line.
I think he was
wishful thinking.
I think he was like cursing him out.
Yeah, not great. So
no, and we knew it would be an adjustment.
Do it. Yeah. Because even Jason has said no other center snaps the ball the way that he does.
No.
So Jalen is used to that more athletic, fast, high snap.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the things they're just going to have to get some one-on-one time together and get some practice in. But I was glad they pulled out the win.
Same. I did need Devonta Smith. I mean, here I went out on a limb and drafted an Alabama player against my better judgment, and then my man did nothing. So I am going to need some progress on that if we could. Just saying. Texans Colts 29-27 Texans. So this whole Colts thing, like we've talked about this, that people keep acting like the Colts are going to be something. It was closer than I thought. And I can't figure out why, because I looked at Anthony Richardson's stats and they're not awesome. But CJ Stroud, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon from the Bengals. That was a great pickup. He had a touchdown. And then one Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdowns, and named captain.
I don't get it.
What is happening?
Listen, we need to be in the room where this stuff is happening because clearly we're missing something.
Something is, we are clearly not experts because something is different than we thought.
Yeah. So I think I didn't watch this game. I saw clips of it like during the second quarter. They interviewed the coach for the Colts at one point. I didn't know who that was.
Oh, yeah.
They were interviewing some random, like,
a fan.
Yeah, fan or an extra coach. You know, they've got 700 coaches on a team.
Yeah.
And I was like, you put him in a lineup and I would have never guessed that was a coach, a head coach. Still couldn't tell you his name.
No.
But the Colts had gotten new turf in the offseason. Lots of slipping going around on the field. And the head coach was like, oh, it's good. A couple slips, but turf's great. And I was like, didn't look like it, but
yeah,
I get it. You probably spent a pretty penny, so you're not going to talk bad about that turf.
Well, again, I believed all the hype with the Colts and picked up Jonathan Taylor as that was all that was available to me. Okay, moving on. That's all I can say. Moving on.
Jeez.
All right, the Titans and the Bears. Now, listen, I didn't watch this game because I couldn't care less about either team.
No.
But Caleb Williams only threw 93 yards, no touchdowns. I will say the one receiver that he apparently has all the chemistry with, that Rome guy, got hurt. So maybe we can blame it on that. But honestly, Will Levis or whatever, I mean, he threw a touchdown, but he also had an interception and a fumble. I don't know what they're doing in Nashville.
Nothing.
Listen,
it's not good. Neither of those teams are good. Listen, Caleb Williams, did they win the game? Yes. Was it because of him? Absolutely 100% not. Your points were scored by special teams and your defense.
Yeah. I was going to say, we had
what are we doing?
We had 3 field goals and 2 defensive touchdowns, one by Jonathan Owens, Mr. Simone Biles.
Listen, get yourself a win, sir.
And I did love that the announcer said, oh, the husband of the greatest gymnast of all time.
That's right. Well done.
Golf clap to you, sir. The Cowboys and the Browns played. The Cowboys won 33-17. Earlier that morning, they announced Dak signed a 4-year contract, now making him the highest paid player in the NFL, which goes again to further prove you can be terrible and not deliver and still get paid.
That's right. Listen, get your money.
And he did. Mr. Ezekiel Elliott came back and scored a touchdown.
He did. He had himself a decent game, too.
It appears that we don't know what we're talking about.
I think we do. I think that it's just any given Sunday.
Every game was a fluke so far. Okay, just checking.
Listen.
Deshaun Watson threw 1 touchdown and had a fumble and has now found himself in some legal trouble again.
Again. None of us are shocked. None of us are shocked. Listen, he looked rough.
I mean, he looked like he hadn't played in a very long time, as he has not.
Right. But just from the start of the game, he already looked exhausted and worn down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was just beat to shreds. At one point, his whole hand was bloody.
Yeah.
At another point, he tried to like help a teammate up on the offense, and they pushed him away. There's clearly some conflict going on, and understandably so. I don't think we're going to see them do well at all.
No, and I was sad to see that David Nyoko, the tight end, he got hurt. And I like him, and he's friends with Trav and them. And I was sad to see he got hurt. A lot of people got hurt this week.
A lot.
And I don't know. But here's my question. We've been well on the record of saying we don't understand Jerry Jones. Now, tell me this, though. You own an NFL team, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You've now given every last dime that you have to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Is it going to be worth it if it costs you Micah Parsons?
If I'm Jerry Jones, yes.
Okay, well, what if you're you?
No.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Okay. Because I was like, wait, the answer was supposed to be no, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, but it makes sense that he would be dumb enough to think that. Got it. Okay.
I think with the Jones family, it's more about, at this point, they know they're not getting to a Super Bowl. They want the name recognition, which they do a phenomenal marketing and PR job for them.
Yeah.
It's really good. They are more of like, we keep our legacy alive because you know us for Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. Now you're going to know us for Dak and Ezekiel and all of that. So I feel like that's really all that they're caring about, or that they have the biggest names and they're giving all of these dollars, but you're not trying to get a winning team because all your big names are getting old and they can't be in every play. And you're not looking at your depth chart. You're not looking at bringing on new talent and training them up. So it's just, I don't really understand what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it as purely a business, they're killing it because they are.
Yes.
I think they're still like the most or the richest franchise or however you word that. So, I mean, from a business perspective, yeah, I mean, they're killing it. So maybe that's what Jerry's thinking. Like, hey, I had the 90s for the rings. Now I'm making the money.
Right.
Which, okay. You know, whatever. Rams Lions. Did you watch? I can't remember. You watched this game too, right?
I did. I was distracted on my phone for some of it, but I had it on.
This was a great game. And pretty like statistically, because I'm good at English, close for Stafford and Jared Goff. Of course, the legendary trade of each other. Jared Goff did have 100 yards less at only 217. He threw a touchdown and an interception. Stafford had 317 with a touchdown and interception. The Lions ended up winning in overtime. The Rams not only lost the game, but they also lost Puka Nacua for 4 games now, at least.
Yeah, that's a big hit for them.
That is not a good look. Also, Jamison Williams. I was not really familiar with him. 121 yards, 5 receptions, and a touchdown. He got the game ball. Did you see his like post-game interview?
Yes.
The cutest thing ever. He was like, I've never done this before.
It's just so fun when these guys get up there and they're so genuine because this is their first experience doing it. But
yeah, I love it.
Ball, and he was like, I'm gonna sleep with it tonight.
Yeah, he was so cute. I was glad the Lions won. Did you expect more out of the Lions though?
I did, but even from the start of the game, I kept someone bugging. I was like, why are they sweating so much? I mean, we were in the first couple of plays. Yeah. And their hair was drenched. And I was like, this doesn't seem normal for them to already be sweating on like play number 2. It seemed weird. And then Aiden Hutchinson was not himself. He was drenched. He looked exhausted. He was in water every second. And I was like, it must have been hot. Something had to have been going on because all of them looked like they were zapped.
Yeah.
I thought it was just weird.
Yeah, I won't say I was disappointed. No. Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. Like
he is.
He's definitely older now.
Right.
And his wife that's a whole nother story. But Cooper Kupp though also he got a touchdown and he had a pretty great game. But that's the problem with Cooper Kupp. Like you're going to think you should go draft him and he's going to be hurt by like week 3. I mean, just warning you guys. But
he's very injury prone.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected more, mainly on defense. Offense was pretty much what I assumed. I mean, I didn't know who Jameson Williams was, but Jamar Gibbs got a touchdown, and somebody else ran. Montgomery, was it David Montgomery ran one in? That was pretty much what I expected. It was the defense, though, that I was like, this is what I was kind of riding to the Super Bowl. So I need Dan Campbell to.
Yeah, I'm telling you, something was off. So
Yeah,
I
maybe he had food poisoning
this week. Maybe.
Listen, I don't know. Apparently, Jamar Chase had food poisoning, which no one cares, my guy. Like, you're a garbage human. Anyway.
You are trash.
Speaking of trash, the Jets played the 49ers.
They sure did.
That was a great segue right there. Money shot.
Nailed it.
Sucked. And it was the best. My favorite part of football this weekend was watching him suck and not even play the end of the game.
No.
Because you're so old and you don't have it anymore, sir.
Because you're not going to win. Listen.
Nope. And you're a loser. Like, you are a poor sportsman and not a good human.
Yeah. I'm telling you what. The head coach, offensive coach, both better start updating their resume. Mm-hmm. Maybe fluff some stuff up there because it's not looking good. Your last 2 years not looking good.
No.
It was real rough on the offense for the Jets.
Can we finally come back to reality with all of you experts with my bunny quotes that keep thinking the Jets are going to win the division and maybe go to the Super Bowl? Can we stop now? Can the delusion finally be over? Because y'all are so dumb. Like,
I get that we're week one in, and again, any given Sunday, but
no,
the Jets showed us.
No,
this is what we got.
No, because I'm telling you what, Aaron Rodgers wanted to win that game. Mm-hmm. He wanted to win that game because if you remember when he left the Packers, the 49ers were at the top of his list and the Raiders, and neither one got him. He wanted to win that game. He wanted to come back and say, look, all my miraculous, weird voodoo hoodoo, I'm great and I'm back. And he sucked. Also, their defense, why was everyone like, oh my gosh, what? Now, granted, you played the 49ers, who are one of the top, I would say, 3 teams in the league right now.
Yeah.
But also, let's just point out that you also played the 49ers without Christian McCaffrey. You had a backup running back that had the game of his life.
Yep.
You couldn't, but you're allegedly what are we doing?
It looked like the JV playing varsity. And it was the 49ers, I think everybody, of course, you have high expectations for the 49ers because they were in the Super Bowl last year.
Sure.
But everybody still, you have transition, you have turnover in the offseason. We've got new people that we're going to. The 49ers came out and played as if we've still been playing.
Yeah.
We're not, of course, there's kinks to work out. There's things to clean up. But they didn't look like this is their first game out. The Jets looked as if, hey, some of my buddies run the parking lot and they want to play. Can we all suit up and get up? It was not good. And then not only can we not get into the end zone, but once or twice, we're going to go for 2 points each time instead of kicking a field goal to get a point.
Yeah.
My man, you can't get it into the end zone. What makes you think you're going to get a 2-point conversion?
You know who I think loved that game the most?
Probably Zach Wilson.
Yes, a young man named Zach Wilson.
He had a watch party.
He was sitting in Denver, probably drinking Coors Light because that's what they have in Denver, and his little flowy hair, and he was like, "These
right? See, it wasn't me. It wasn't
me, guys. Y'all just suck." I did have 2 stats I wanted to call out. Gave me a good chuckle. Mr. Nick Bosa, Mr. Everything.
Yes.
He had 2 tackles the whole game, one of which was solo. 2 tackles.
Which is crazy for him.
1-2 against a terrible offense. I'm just saying. And then Mr. Brandon Ayuk. Like, let's hold out. Let's end up taking the deal they offered in the beginning. You were targeted 5 times. You caught 2 of them, sir. 2.
Yeah.
And
Manning was hot about that.
Listen. Whoo. It was what did you think of the Manning cast this week?
I've only seen clips of it because I don't watch them.
Yeah, I don't either.
Amazon.
Sometimes I do, but not very often. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I thought it was really good. I thought Peyton had some really good takes on some of those games, but it's too much talking during the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking.
If somebody's going to be yelling at the team and trying to coach, it's me. I can't have an assistant coach also.
Yeah. They had Belichick, who is really loosening up a lot. I saw him laugh a lot, which is kind of fun to see. And they had Adam Sandler, who I just adore. And then they had Chris Jones, who we know I'm obsessed with. So it looked like a great one, but I can't watch it. There are some games I'll watch them depending on who they have on, but
yeah.
All right, let's do some predictions for this coming week because we're apparently really good at this. But I actually think we did.
We predicted them.
I was going to say, I think we were like perfect this past week, right?
Yep. We predicted every winner, at least for the
You're welcome, folks. Just use this for all your Vegas needs. All right. So I picked out a couple of games for us to predict this week. Of course, we will begin with our beloved Chiefs, who are hosting the Bengals. Joe Burrow did not have a fantastic game, and I sent y'all a clip. It looks like his hand is hurting again.
Yeah. I mean, we know he had surgery. Was the surgery on his hand or is on his elbow that the tendon connected to his hand? Something. Because there was a gripping issue last year.
Yeah.
Looks like that issue might be back this year. Which, again, if you guys remember when we were talking about who to draft in your fantasy, I said, do not pick him.
Yeah.
Do not pick him. He cannot last the whole season. And I think that we're seeing that. So I'm going to give it to the Chiefs. Number one, they're at home.
Yeah.
Number two, I think they've probably cleaned up a lot of the errors that they made in the first game, and they still did pretty well in the first game.
Yeah.
So I'm easily going to give it to the Chiefs for this week.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs mainly, honestly, because it is at home, because I think both teams really play up when they're playing each other. Jamar Chase despises the Chiefs. But you know what?
Patrick's never won against Joe, correct?
I think that is accurate.
So it'll be interesting.
But as much as Jamar hates the Chiefs hate Jamar. So I'm going to say that that's going to come into play. I think it might be a little heated at times. But yeah, I'm going Chiefs at home. I don't think big, though.
No, probably not big.
But I do think it's going to be cleaner. And I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. We'll see if I'm right.
Okay.
I'm going to say that Trav gets a touchdown this week.
Okay. I'm here for that.
I mean, I'm hoping.
Just go ahead and put it out there. Brittany and Taylor will not be in the same suite.
Yeah, they don't normally. Like, wake up, people. Yeah.
And Travis has.
You're trying to bait me today. I can tell.
I know. I just need to put that out there for clarity because people think it's because they're not friends, and it's not. They never stayed in the same suite at a home game. They have too many friends and family that come. They can't share suites.
And they both consume the game differently. Like she's baiting me, everyone. It's fine. We're going to get to the WhyFactor, and she's going to regret this moment when we get to the WhyFactor. All right. Bills and the Dolphins. So it did come out this morning that Raheem Mostert is not going to be playing. He's got a chest injury at running back for the Dolphins. They still have A-Chain. Obviously, since we last recorded, Tyreek Hill was arrested on the way to their game. Details are still coming out. Not a good look for really anyone involved.
No one is good in this.
Yeah. Anyway, this is not that podcast, but Tyreek still played, and he played well. So Tua had a great game.
He did.
So we're playing Josh Allen, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we're playing in Buffalo.
I'm pretty sure we're in Buffalo.
Yeah, if we're wrong about that, who cares? We're experts on everything else. What are you thinking?
I'm torn on this one.
Okay, I was going to say that sounded very decisive.
I want to go Buffalo or not. I want to go Dolphins, but I think very, very, very slim margin. But also knowing that they're in Buffalo.
That's what I'm looking up because that's going to sway my vote.
Right. If they're in Buffalo, I'm going Bills. If they're not, I'm going Dolphins. And I think it's going to be a close game either way.
Nope, we're in Miami.
Okay, then I'm going to stick with Dolphins. But I think it's going to be close.
Whew, that really changes things for me because I had written down that I don't know why, I thought they were in Buffalo, and so I was going Josh Allen at home.
I mean, both of them this week didn't really ramp up their offenses until the second half. So
Well, James Cook, running back, because Judd has James Cook on his fantasy team, and he was real pumped. That dude went off. Because it's in Miami, I'm going to go ahead and go Miami. I don't think there's a drastic drop-off with Raheem Mostert being out and Devin Achane playing instead. I don't – now, if he gets hurt, though, I think then we kind of get into some trouble. But, yeah, I think I'm going to go Tua at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one will be interesting to come back and see because that's the only one I think is going to be real close.
49ers, Vikings.
49ers.
You could have at least pretended.
Listen.
Yeah, I think this could be a big blowout, actually.
I mean, the Vikings still don't have their team totally figured out. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing there.
Sam Darnold, listen, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Nick Bosa is going to get a sack on Sam Darnold. Or two. Maybe, yeah. I think this one's actually going to be a big one. Brock Purdy, I thought, looked really good. We didn't say this earlier, but I thought he looked really good.
Yeah.
And
he's so comfortable. He's just so calm.
And we're going to talk about this one of the questions too, but he amazes me because this is a guy that really should not be comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like being an elite NFL quarterback and Brock Purdy, when you look at him, I mean, I could pass him at the high V right now and not even know who it was.
Right.
I mean, I would because I'm obsessed with football, but like the normal person that's not insane wouldn't. And so it's just crazy, but I think he's going to go off. I think it'll be a big win for the 49ers. And one that honestly, I feel like they need. I feel like they need a big win right now because I think that though they did well, they were playing the Jets. And it felt like if they had been playing a better team, it doesn't feel like they have shaken off the Super Bowl yet.
Well, and I think even Juszczyk said that. He was like, it's kind of one of those situations where we can talk and we can go about our day. And as soon as somebody says Super Bowl, our mindset goes right back
in it. Yeah. They are going to be without McCaffrey. And they're saying Achilles tendonitis, which can be a months-long injury. I think McCaffrey will come back sooner because it's McCaffrey.
Right.
But that does not bode well because those things pop like you've never seen.
But if they're smart, they're going to keep him out for a little while and make sure it's fully healed because you need him in the postseason.
Now, we did not discuss Jordan Mason? Jonathan? Jordan. So he was McCaffrey's backup. Never heard of the guy. And he had some iffy comments. He made a comment saying he knew on Friday before the game that he was going to be starting. Kyle Shanahan said that wasn't true because that can't be true legally because you were supposed to disclose that. Wondering what's going to happen with that.
I think he probably got fined.
Yeah, I think we might have. I think he might have had to run some extra bear crawls.
Which I felt bad because if
guy.
they did tell him Friday, he was just being honest. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But then the post-game conference, press conference, and then you're asking that question. He was like, see, this is why I'm mad. I can't say stuff and then I get in trouble. And I was like, that kid had the game of his life.
And that's what it's going to be down.
Yeah.
We did that for him.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, but let me tell you, I jumped on our ESPN app lickety split to see if I could go draft him. Someone already had him. I was so disappointed. I'd never heard of him.
I hadn't either.
I still don't know where he came from.
No, I don't know what college he played for. But
he was, he was great.
I hope he can sustain that. I mean, it looks like he could. So
yeah. I need to see where this next game is. Saints and the Cowboys.
Listen, I don't even know who plays for the Saints besides Derek Carr.
Okay, it's in Dallas too, if that helps you.
I'm even before that, I think Dallas is going to take this one. I don't think the Saints have anybody that can make these big moves. And I feel like Dak has a lot that he wants to prove. So I think the Cowboys are just going to outplay them. I don't know if they're going to be outcoached. They'll be outplayed.
I'm going to go with a spicy take here.
Are you?
I'm going to pick the Saints on the road.
Okay.
Listen, shout out to my best friend, Megan. No, I'm going to be honest. Now, listen, I understand completely that the Saints played the Panthers last weekend, and that is essentially like playing my son's third grade team.
Right.
Derek Carr, though, he had 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara got a touchdown. Rashid Shaheed, which that's a lot to say. Dude went off. I don't know. I feel like Derek Carr is pissed. I don't think Derek Carr is elite. Like, please don't be confused. We've got a question coming up about tier 2 and 3 quarterbacks. That's not Derek Carr for me either. But I think he's pissed. And I think he's got this chip on his shoulder. I think the Cowboys are going to be like, it's the Saints. They suck. And I think it's going to be close. And I think in the end, field goal, Saints win.
Okay. So you think mentality-wise, the Cowboys are going into this like we've already won it?
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that too.
Let's see. This will be the first one where, first of all, we differ. And then, like, this is my first kind of spicy pick of the season.
I like it.
I'm excited. Bears Texans. Let me double check where this one is. I should have. Listen, I'm not always prepared for anything. So I don't know that it sways what I think, but I do like to know. They're playing in Houston.
Okay. I'm going Texans on this. Yeah. Listen, Caleb, we know he lucked out last week with a win that he said he was proud of. Sir, take a seat.
Listen.
But I'm just, CJ's more confident. His team's
and
more
home.
Confident. Yeah. So I'm definitely giving this one to the Texans.
Yeah, I'm actually going big on this one, Texans, especially at home.
Okay.
I
like 2 touchdowns ahead or bigger than that.
Did you say 2 or 3?
2.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to say 2. I'm going to stay with 2. Maybe 2 and a field goal, not 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'll give it to the Bears defense, not Jonathan Owens, because I will never give him his flowers, but they're not bad. I do think this is a better Bears team than we've seen in probably
I could agree.
I don't know, a while.
Yeah.
I think for Caleb, it's going to suck. His chemistry is definitely with Rome Odunze, and with him out, I think that really screws with what they were doing. And I don't think, the Bears traded to get Swift from the Eagles for running back. And I don't think it's paying off because the chemistry is not there. And so, and that Texans defense is pretty legit.
They're pretty solid.
Yes, that's where I'm going to go. I mean, we'll see. Let's talk a little fantasy football before we talk college football. My condolences to what happened when we recorded last week. It was right after Thursday night football, and you were killing it. It looked so good for you. And then
the rest of the games happened.
Well, it didn't help you that your starting quarterback got hurt.
Right. And my one that was on the bench had the game of his life.
Well, as you would. I mean, again, I had Isaiah Likely on my bench, so I can concur. Things happen.
I think Baker Mayfield had almost 30 points in our fantasy league.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I think Baker's going to have a heck of a season.
Listen, maybe having a baby girl, he wants to show her some
comfortable and confident. He feels like the team believes in him because they finally paid him.
Right. I think mentally that makes a difference for him.
Yeah. Who else did well on your team?
So really it was Robinson from Washington. He was one of my running backs, Pacheco, and Rice.
So pretty much what you had on Thursday was, Well, I had Lamar, as we knew, and that got me 25. So that helped me. But I tell you who I had was J.K. Dobbins, the Chargers running back. He got me 22.9. So appreciate you, my guy. The Steelers defense also got me 13, and my kicker, Dicker the kicker, got me 12.
I like Dicker the kicker.
Jonathan Taylor, he got me 10, but that was nothing. But yeah, so my bench, I had Isaiah Likely. Okay. I also did not play Khalil Shakir from the Bills, and he had 13. So I might look at him this week.
Okay.
I don't know. How is this week looking for you? Are you projected to win?
Let me look. Probably not, if we're being honest.
Well,
just go ahead and nope, I am not.
Who are you playing this week?
I'm playing my brother-in-law this week.
Oh ho, family feud. All right, let's go.
Projected to beat me by 2 points. So
every once in a while, your brother-in-law doesn't pay attention to his lineup, so maybe he might get lucky. He might get lucky.
But I've thrown Baker in, and he got way more points than he was projected to last week. So I'm hoping maybe that helps. I am a little iffy on my tight end situation.
Uh-oh.
Because right now I've got Ferguson from the Cowboys, and he went out injured, so he is questionable.
Yeah.
And my backup for him is Hill from New Orleans. So
Okay,
Taysom.
but listen, I love Taysom Hill because Taysom can get you points all over the place, catching, running, and throwing. I love Taysom Hill.
Last week, he only got 4.6 points in fantasy.
I didn't say every week, okay? I didn't say that.
I might throw him in. I'm going to see how Ferguson's feeling close to the game. I'm going to give him a call, see what he's thinking.
Well, I heard that they feel good about him, that it doesn't look like it's serious.
Yes. So it sounds like he will play, but we'll find out closer to the game. So we're gonna see.
I've got a predicament too.
Okay,
and it's one that there's not a lot of news out there yet. Lamar Jackson is questionable.
Okay,
and he has not practiced yet this week. Now, there's been no stories there. It didn't look like he ever got hurt in the game.
All they were saying is he just needed a couple extra days to recover.
That doesn't feel right to me.
Now, we had said he looked more athletic. He ran a heck of a lot. He did get pounded during the game, but never once did it look like he went to the sideline. It didn't look like he winced. It didn't look like he was in pain. He didn't go to the medical tent.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Something is not right in this situation. I don't have a good feeling is what I'm going to tell you.
Who's your backup?
Well, the old faithful. I got Justin Herbert on my bench, and they're playing the Panthers. So I'm putting Herbert in.
I was about to say, maybe switch it up.
Yeah, because I will say Lamar is playing the Raiders, and if he's banged up and he's going to go against Max Crosby, that ain't good.
No, not good.
So, yeah, I'm going to put Herbert in.
Did you – a little off topic. Did you watch the Panthers game? I'm going to assume.
Oh, heavens, no.
Okay. I didn't either. And everybody's blaming Bryce for how bad they are. So I feel like I need to watch it to see if it really is my guy or if it's the rest of the team.
Listen, I understand that your quarterback is now injured, but I still think you're better off than you were last season still.
Oh, 100%. I'm not picking Bryce up. I just need to know, from my heart. Okay.
Just a quick recap of my other 500 leagues that I'm in. The one that I am managing. Well, let me just be honest. I lost in both of my other leagues. Because, I was riding guys like Ayuk. And, that did nothing for me. And then in my other one, I've got questionable people amok. Oh, my gosh. Breaking news. Devin A-Chain is now questionable as well.
Okay.
Who is going to be running the ball in Miami?
Who's on their practice squad? That's probably who's coming up this week.
And then also what I was riding in that league, Puka Nakua. So, guys, things are not looking good.
Okay.
Not looking good.
It's rough out here.
So that's kind of our fantasy football. My most disappointing player of the week this last week. Actually, I don't know if this is going to be surprising or not. Let me just double check before I talk out of my rump. Nope. Yep, I am not wrong. Sam Laporta, tight end.
Okay.
I bought in because Trav told me.
And I was mad because I wanted to get him and you took him.
I mean, Trav told me, not personally, that his guy was Sam Laporta this year, and he only had 45 yards and 8 points.
Yeah.
I needed more, especially when I got Likely on my bench, okay? What are we doing? Who was your most disappointing?
Ferguson. God.
Well, I didn't know there were so many options for you.
Listen, I had a lot of disappointment. It wasn't pretty. There's a lot of single-digit numbers here. It was no.
I am projected to win this week. I'm playing one of Aaron's best friends, Andrew. It's pretty dang close, and he's got guys like C.J. Stroud, Bijan Robinson, Nico Collins, Calvin Ridley.
Listen, Brett's got Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Come on.
We can hope for his demise and
come on.
Way.
And the New York Jets for defense, and I'm not projected to win.
Who are the Jets playing?
I don't even know.
Well,
Tennessee.
Well, now he could go off again, but L'Jarius Sneed. I'm going to go with Sneed getting some interceptions this week. Then
that's okay. If I lose again,
let's talk about some college football. And I suffered a very large heartbreak.
You did.
My Razorbacks went to Stillwater. and made it to 2 overtimes against a top 25 team. Listen, we're not used to this. Our quarterback threw for 416 yards. One of our running backs, Jaquindon Jackson, ran 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But we had 3 fumbles. And guys, listen, you 3 points. You got to hold it right here. I mean, my 8-year-old knows, okay? So, we really got to hold on to it. But went into double overtime, lost, but dang, they looked good, and it was so promising. This week we play UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Yep.
Now, listen, in a typical Razorback season, I wouldn't count that as an easy game. But I'm hoping this week that it is. We'll see.
Yeah. It was good to see they fought. They kept fighting through each of those overtimes.
Let me tell you, my guy Sam Pittman was pissed.
Oh, of course.
I don't know if you saw, but there was one point that he flipped the ref off.
I did catch that.
And I just love Sam Pittman.
It was subtle. It was very
just kind of oh, yeah.
No.
Listen,
professional about it.
He is not cut out to be an SEC head coach, but I do love him.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was a heartbreaker, and it would be so like the Razorbacks to come back this week and lose to UAB. So we'll just see what happens. Did you watch the Texas-Michigan game? I feel like you did.
I absolutely watched that game.
What were your thoughts? How were you feeling?
That was crazy. It was crazy that
Texas Michigan
went into Michigan.
Into the big house.
And they killed them.
I mean, destroyed.
Floored. Michigan's offense had so many turnovers. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Texas had a great run game and an air game. I mean, Quinn Ewers was on.
And it was shocking that the run game was so strong when their 2 starting and then backup running backs are out.
Yeah. I mean, they went in there and they were like, what? Listen, I don't like Texas. I don't like the Longhorns 1 iota, but boy, did I love seeing Michigan struggle.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm going to tell you right now, Quinn is he's my pick right now for Heisman.
Okay.
I think if they continue to do well, he continues to do well. They keep getting some big wins like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's up there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to maybe this is a spicy take. And again, for the record, we do not like Texas. I know you people think that you're going to find all this stuff on the internet. We're not to the WhyFactor yet. But anyway, I do not like Texas. I hate Texas. Born and raised in Arkansas. Back in the Southwest Conference days, I despise Texas. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Steve Sarkisian, I think, is the next Nick Saban instead of Dabo Swinney.
I mean, yeah, over Dabo Swinney, but next Nick Saban, come on.
Too spicy?
Too much.
I said it so quick because I didn't know what your reaction was.
He is a very good coach.
Okay, let me do an either or. Let me do an either or for you. Now, not personality, not looks. I'm talking resume coaching, okay?
Okay.
Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin. Who's the next Nick Saban?
Then I would have to go Steve.
Okay, then. Who else would it be then? If it's not Dabo, it's not Lane, who else would it be?
DeBoer.
Oh, for the love of God. We'll come back when you're ready to have a real conversation.
Okay, it's going to be a while.
Of course. Okay, so the other game that we were tracking last week was Tennessee, North Carolina State. We were only tracking it because North Carolina State was in the top 25 and Tennessee is all the rage.
Yeah.
It was obvious as to why they're all the rage.
Yes.
Nico, Nico, right?
Yes.
Whatever. 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did have 2 interceptions. So let's clean that up a little bit. They had 2 rushing touchdowns. North Carolina State clearly overrated.
Yes. Yeah.
But it did further my belief that Tennessee could be a wild card here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw some sloppy in the first half, and I feel like they really came back in that second half to kind of clean it up. So seeing them respond so quickly was positive. So yeah, I think we're sticking true. They're still going to have a heck of a year.
Outside of the Arkansas game, I think we were accurate on our picks.
Yes.
Well, and I think you may have picked Oklahoma State.
I think I gave it to Arkansas by a slim margin.
Oh, we were so close.
But and you don't put it on there, but the Notre Dame Northern Illinois game.
I did forget to put that on there. And no one is probably happier that Notre Dame lost than your sister. She's been real mad at me since week 1 of me projecting them to be a playoff team. I think that's out the window. But here's the problem. It's not. Because of the way with the new 12-team playoff system and the fact that they're not in a conference, they very well could still end up in the playoffs, which is not right. But I'm telling you, I'm not picking them because I want them there. I'm just saying.
That's probably
Statistically, that could happen. Yeah, what the hell, though?
Listen, Northern Illinois, who would have thought they would have kept it neck and neck? Nobody.
I don't even understand.
Nobody would have thought that. It was so fun to see that team absolutely ball out and have so much fun. Seeing that coach, who that's going to be the game that goes down for his career.
Yeah, it'll be on his tombstone.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to put that on the notes. But yeah, that was insane. I clearly didn't watch it, but when I saw it, I was like, say what?
Yeah.
Like, Illinois, like the University of Illinois, their head coach is Brett Bielema, who used to be the Razorback coach, who I cannot stand. But they have been kind of coming on. And they had a big win this past weekend. And so at first I thought, well, maybe I misread it. Maybe it was Illinois, and I could see that happening. But no, it was Northern Illinois.
Yep. So good.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Whew, you love to see it. Love to see it.
All right, let's predict a few for this weekend. We'll go ahead and kick it off with your boys, Alabama, Wisconsin.
Obviously, I'm always going to go Alabama.
Is it a home game or away?
We didn't look any of that up.
Oh my God, let me get it pulled up while you're talking. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm going to Alabama. I think it's going to be close. It's close last week with South Florida, and it shouldn't have been. Well, it wasn't close at the end. The score definitely dictates a different game than what we watched. But I'm hoping Jalen has got his team together. We're cleaning up our errors, and we'll pull it out. Listen, DeBoer's too calm. I need somebody to throw a headset, somebody to throw a clipboard. We had Saban on the sidelines because they were dedicating the field to him, and he was there watching that monstrosity of what was happening.
He was sweating.
Woo! He wanted to yell at somebody. And I bet you when those players went off the field at halftime, so they get to the locker room, not a one of them was making eye contact.
Yeah, like, whoop. Yep.
Nope.
No, yeah. This one is at Wisconsin. I'm sure that does not sway your decision.
No.
I am going Alabama as well. Let me tell you, last week, I know. See, I'm evolving. Last week, Wisconsin played South Dakota, and they only won by a touchdown. No, 2 touchdowns. And then the week before that, they played Western Michigan, and barely won that one too. So I don't think this is the Wisconsin we're used to. And Jalen Milroe, the guy is like going off. He had 5 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
In a game that they didn't even look that good. So give him a game where they look good.
Right.
Just saying.
Okay.
Missouri, Boston College.
I'm going to take Missouri on this one. Obviously, they've played throwaway teams so far and slaughtered them. Mm-hmm. I think that they will do it again this week. We shall see. First week they played Murray State and it was like 51-0. Last week they played Buffalo and it was 38-0. So I don't know that it'll be that much of a difference in the score, but I do think it'll be a fairly decent win.
Okay, they are playing in Columbia. It took me if you're watching this on YouTube, I was very confused because it was only telling me the stadium name and I was like, I don't know the name of their stadium, but then there's a picture.
Yeah.
I'm going Missouri on this. I mean, I think Boston College, they beat Florida State, but I'm beginning to think that's kind of a kind of win.
Right.
But I will say the quarterback for Boston College, so good with name pronunciations. Castellanos?
Listen, there's ones this year.
Castellanos? Thomas? Something like that. Anyway, he threw 6 touchdowns last week. But Missouri is known for their defense. And so I think this is going to be a good matchup. But, yeah, I think, again, at home, and I'm just going to go SEC because that's what we do.
That is what we do.
Okay, how are you feeling about Texas A&M and Florida?
This one could be a crapshoot for me. I feel like Texas A&M really needs to win it just to have some like oomph back in themselves. Florida's been a little up and down, so I'm gonna go Texas A&M, but I'm not confident in it.
That's the problem. I can't figure out where they're playing. Hold on. Texas A&M and Florida. This
Looks like they're playing in Florida.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing.
Yeah, Florida.
My heart wants to go Texas A&M
I know.
because I love Texas A&M. But I can't figure out what's happening. And going on the road, and here's the thing, Billy Napier, he needs a win real bad.
Real bad.
So I'm going to go A&M, but I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to be real close. Way closer than it should be. Because Florida's not good.
No.
But I'm going to go A&M. I'm scared. LSU, South Carolina.
I'm going LSU. Again, I don't know.
I mean, I'm going LSU. I'm looking. Oh my
They're
God,
playing in South Carolina.
I'm going LSU anyway. I mean, now South Carolina, though, they're one of those teams that'll sneak up on you.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. Some of these this week, I think it's a toss-up.
But Nussmeier last week had 8 touchdowns. But the running game at South Carolina is real strong. So because they got my boy Rocket Sanders from the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
I still can't talk about that. But I'm going to go LSU. So we'll see how we did on our predictions. We've got some football questions. So are you ready to do questions?
Let's do questions.
All righty. So from Kevin, who are your top tier 2 or tier 3 NFL quarterbacks? Trying to find some depth for my fantasy team. Hey, that's good. So is Becca. She's needing a little quarterback depth now too.
Listen, it's not working out for us, buddy.
Well, okay, so I struggled a little bit with this question because I think it also depends on who you consider tier 1.
Yeah, I don't know who we're going with. In my head, I was reading that as like who's on the bench currently that maybe we add and we're good. But then I was like, well, but if we put them on our fantasy team, they're probably not going to play. So I'm not really sure where we're going with this question.
Okay, I'm interested to see what you did then because I was not thinking about bench warmers, but okay.
Listen, I went Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's.
I thought he looked great. I thought he looked better than Aaron.
I thought he looked great. And again, I'm not convinced. Aaron looked a little scared getting hit a few times.
Well, you saw where he said that was the first time they never hit him in the preseason.
Which smart. Like you want to protect your quarterback,
still,
at the same time mentally. Every time he's got that ball in his hands, he's terrified.
Yeah, he probably crapped his pants.
Yeah,
that's a good one though.
So I thought him, and then Drake May. I really think Drake's going to get to play this season. I don't think he's going to sit the bench the whole season. So.
Well, we didn't even talk about it. Well, we kind of talked about Joe Burrow, but we didn't talk about the fact that the Patriots beat the Bengals.
I sure did.
I can't believe I forgot. Why did you not fix the notes? You know, my brain is scattered right now.
Listen, I was trying to get all my notes in there for all the different games, and it was already so much.
We totally forgot to talk about that other than Joe being kind of banged up. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett, though,
had a good game.
Yeah. Again, the problem with him is he's injury prone too.
Well, and I just don't know how consistent he can be for a whole season. And I have a feeling that Mayo will very easily be like,
I'm done. Yeah.
Let's put Drake in. So
those are good ones.
The last one I put on was Baker Mayfield. I don't know what you consider tier he is, but
yeah, see, that was the thing. What was your name, sir? Kevin. Yeah. I don't know what you meant here either. So I went a little different. I went if I'm thinking tier 1 quarterbacks, I'm thinking like the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like my tier 1 is probably like Patrick, Josh. I'm going to go Tua probably is my number 3. So then I was thinking like, okay, who's the next level? That's what I was going with.
Okay.
But then I think I have a weird take again because I was saying tier 2, Brock Purdy.
Oh.
But it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. I don't know that you can consider Brock tier 2 and not tier 1 anymore. But again, I don't know. But anyway. And then I had to go with my guy, Justin Herbert. Guys, he's not going to win the game. But you talked about your fantasy team, and I'm telling you, from years of experience, pick him up.
Yeah.
And then my third one, I was kind of going like the wild card situation too. Jaden Daniels. I'm telling you.
Not a bad pick. Yeah.
I also think, and we said this in the very beginning, I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to get more playing time in Atlanta than Kirk Cousins knows.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So don't sleep on that pick on your bench. I'm just saying.
Yep.
But I thought Tyrod Taylor looked great in his series against the 49ers. It was towards the end of the game. The 49ers were probably tired, but he also gets a lot of injuries too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So not sure what you meant, but hope we helped. Also send us your tips for poor Becca here. She's struggling.
I need all the help I can get this year.
Of course, I may be too. I don't know what I'm talking about. Lamar could be done. I don't know.
Listen, I had a couple of bad losses last year, but for the most part, I still won quite a few. But this year is not shaping up to look like that.
Only week 2. Simmer down.
Well,
okay, from Tiara.
Yes.
Right? Okay, yes. Meg Thee Stallion said she'd like to do a collab with Taylor Swift. Who is someone outside of pop you'd like to see her collab with? Which we've talked about collaborations with her before, but this was applicable because Meg just said this. And there's a new rumor every day of a new collaboration that Taylor's doing. So who is someone outside of pop that you would like to see her collab?
I went Benson Boone. I don't know if he's considered pop, but I feel like their styles could go well together. And then the other one I did to do like a country collab, I think Danielle Bradbury would be a really good one for her to collab with.
Never heard of her.
We'll see. She was on The Voice years ago, but I don't think anybody really knows her from that because nobody knows anybody that was on The Voice. But she's released quite a bit, and I just love her voice. I think she'd be a good mix.
It's a good one. So I'm so torn on this because I don't know. So I really like rock version of Taylor.
Yes.
Like when she is it the 1989 tour when she's because her hair's short. She's wearing like that black leather outfit and she's got an electric guitar and she does that growl thing when she sings. I really like. And of course, I don't know if you guys saw the people on Twitter that thought that she was hinting at a rock album at the US Open because she was playing the guitar for the darkness because clearly
she was enjoying life. Come on.
Yeah, but I do like rock version Taylor.
Okay.
So back in the day, she did that Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yes.
And why did it just leave my brain who she appeared with?
I can only picture her doing it, but I can picture her by herself.
Holy hell. Hold on. Must Google. Golly, why is my brain like this? Fall Out Boy. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I love that version of Taylor. So I was like, I kind of want like a rock thing. So I was thinking Blink 182.
Oh, okay.
If I was going to go rock. Just a collab that I need and want and I think could be in the works. Kelsey Ballerini.
Okay.
And then because I just adore him and you do as well, I want her to do something with Jelly Roll.
I almost put him. I love Jelly Roll.
But speaking of collabs, I was just going to break some news to you that I don't know if you know. Post Malone, as we know, has apparently collabed with everyone.
That's his thing now.
Did you know that he has a song out now that this past week with Dwight Yoakam?
Did not have any inkling that was a thing.
I didn't know Dwight Yoakam was still singing.
Nope.
But apparently him and Posty, they got a song out now, and it's on the Spotify top 10.
Okay.
So,
listen, go Post.
But that's a great question. Honestly, I would love to see her with anyone. I would also, so there is a version of Antihero with the bleachers that I actually enjoy for all you people. I would like to see her do some more with the bleachers. I think it would be so fun.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway. All right. From Brandon, it's being reported Emily Henry's new book is based on a song from Folklore. Which song do you think it is based on, or do you hope it's based on? You're not a big reader, right?
No.
Which is so weird being an English major that you're not a reader.
I think I just got burnt out from reading. It's just not my thing. I enjoyed the English part of like the writing and the grammar and the structure of the English language. I did not enjoy the reading of the English language.
Now, do you know who Emily Henry is?
I did not, and I'm pretty sure I butchered this question.
Okay, so Emily Henry is she's kind of a famous author. She's New York Times bestselling. She does a lot of romance novels.
Yes.
Funny Story, Happy Place, Beach Read, Book Lovers, You and Me on Vacation. A lot of really good books that are like, beach reads. So apparently then I can't wait to see where you go with this question.
Well, so he said new book, and I thought her newest book was The Funny Story.
Yeah, this is coming out. This is a book coming out next year.
Yeah, didn't know that. So I don't even know the gist of that. So I went.
No one does.
Funny Story was maybe based off of.
Okay, well, let's hear that. That's a good answer.
I thought from the Folklore album that maybe it was based off of the song Hoax.
Okay.
Because Funny Story is about like two people that get dumped by their exes and then they go for revenge because their exes get together and get engaged. And then I was like, well, with Hoax, it kind of talks about like a toxic relationship and the joke's on you. So you want revenge. That's kind of the path I was going. But again, pretty sure I just made my own path through a bunch of weeds. So,
well, I mean, that is an interesting theory. I have read Funny Story. I would have gone Betty, just because I like the little situation. And I've always like thought that there's more to the story of Betty and all that, but that's a whole speculation thing. So nobody knows yet what this book is about, but this week, actually, which is the reason I picked this question for this week, which, Brandon, I don't know if you knew about this already, but I only heard about it this week. But this question is from like 6 weeks ago. So I don't know. And I read a lot. But it came out this week that the book is going to be called Great Big Beautiful Life.
Okay.
And all Emily has said is it is a love story. It involves a vacation and a complicated family dynamic, which is every Emily Henry book.
Okay.
She did say, I saw yesterday, that it involves a parent this time, and she has never focused on a parent in the storyline.
Okay.
So I went Last Great American Dynasty.
Okay.
Like something like they go to the family vacation home on Cape Cod. Some secret comes out about the parent, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. But hey, here's what I will tell you, Brandon. I bet a lot of people in this genre of books right now are writing songs based on Taylor Swift's, or writing books based on Taylor Swift songs.
I mean, why wouldn't you? She gives you a perfect plot line.
I can tell you that a lot of her songs are all throughout my book manuscript. So
there you go.
Good material. Okay. From Haley, what is a popular show you didn't get into and either A, wish you had, or B, have no regrets?
Okay. So I did one for each.
Okay. Same.
I never got into, and have zero regret that I didn't get into it, Game of Thrones. That used to be like everybody watched it. Everybody talked about it. It was a huge thing. I never watched it. I never thought I should watch it.
Yeah.
Not my thing. So I went that one. And then the one that I wish I had gotten into, but I didn't, and it's too late, and I have a commitment issue, not that there's too many seasons, but was How to Get Away with Murder. I think I would have really enjoyed that one. So
yeah, you would. You would have I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on if you would have liked that. But yes, because you do like the true crime aspect, but you're not real great with like.
If it gets to be, yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I could see that with your Shonda love.
It's too much of a commitment now. I'll never do it. But
I answered this question for myself, but I also answered it for you. Okay. Something that I regret for you and really think needs to be rectified.
Okay. I do have a note in my phone of things that I need to watch because Mandy said so. So I'll add this.
Probably already on there because it has literally bothered me, I think, since we became friends.
Oh, good.
The Summer I Turned Pretty. How have you not? Good God, it blows my ever-loving mind because it is such a Becca show.
It's on Netflix, right?
I just don't start with me. Like, I can't even, yes.
I thought it was a movie for the longest time. So,
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to recover, but I'm going to try. So okay, I'm going to tell you the one I don't regret not getting into. I do not regret that I did not get into Seinfeld. And I know for some people that's kind of spicy. Now, I do think that like that's kind of my age range. Like it's kind of an older show. People are obsessed with that show and everybody, and I'm like, oh, it's about nothing. And they're like, that's the point. Well, that's a stupid point. Like, I don't like that. So I do not regret that.
Okay.
I regret, or I did not get into, wait, is the question, what do I regret? Yeah, I wish I had. What do I wish I had gotten into? I wish I had gotten into Veep.
It's so good.
I know. But you know what I'm committed to do is to get caught up on it. You?
Okay. I'll get caught up on The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay. I'm checking back in. I'm going to give you 6 weeks. Marking it on my calendar. You got 6 weeks.
Well, I got to do it now because Hallmark's about to start doing their Christmas movies here.
Exactly. I know once that starts, I'm screwed.
Right. Then I have no free time.
Yeah, I still can't even get over it.
Is there a TV show that you got into after it was already off air?
Suits.
Okay.
But now, again, I've only seen it on TikTok.
You know what? For you, I'm going to count it.
I mean, I spent a lot of time there. What about you?
Friends.
You were kind of, you're not that much younger than I am, but yeah.
We weren't allowed. So.
Right. Yeah. That was
then you go off to college and that's when you go buck wild and you're like, I'm going to watch Friends. I'll show my parents.
You rebel, you. Yeah, that's a good one. Game of Thrones is a great one that you don't regret. I didn't watch that either, and I don't regret that either. That was one that Aaron really wanted me to get into, and I couldn't commit.
I think Doug watched it, but that was not a me thing.
Yeah. I just kicked the crap out of my toe. Okay. Are you ready for some WhyFactor?
I am ready for some WhyFactor.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I am, but
I know. I'm anxious to see which version of Mandy we get for this.
Me too. I'll be honest. I've been thinking this entire show, what am I going to say? Because I have a lot of things I want to say. So I'm going to let you go. What are you not liking?
Well, I'm going to continue my one-sided beef that I have with the Sanders family, and I'm going to go Shador Sanders this week for what I'm not liking.
I thought you were talking about somebody else. Do you know who I thought you were talking about? Okay. I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're just going to go right here. Okay, great. Go ahead.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go the Deion Sanders family. So I'm going Shador. Listen, stop trashing your O-line. Listen, are they good?
The field with time still on the clock.
Yeah. Listen, and you and your daddy are sticking with the, he was injured. We just want to make sure he was good. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You had a bad attitude and you wanted to go to the locker room.
Yep.
And now you're realizing that that's all in the media. So you do what you and your daddy do best. And you try and spin every story and gaslight everybody and make us think that we're crazy, and we're not. Is your O-line trash? Yes. Was it trash last year? Yes. Did you say you were going to revamp it and be better this year? Yes. And you didn't. So you don't get to throw them under the bus at your press conferences.
No.
And you don't get to walk off the field because you were supposed to be the leader on that team. Grow the F up. You're 22. You want to be an NFL star. Act like one. So I'm over that. I'm over it.
Yeah. And then I saw Shiloh broke his forearm. He had to have surgery.
Yeah, he had surgery. I didn't even know he got injured during the game. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention.
I didn't watch their game. I think I've gotten to the point now where I just can't.
Yeah, just catch the highlights.
Yeah, I like to see like what they did. I like it when they lose, but I don't know. And I do think it also is interesting with Dak getting that deal because, everybody was, and I was on the train too, that I thought Jerry would hire Deion and draft Shador, which I guess they still could, but I don't see not letting him go anywhere. He's not going to be a starter. Exactly. And so, I don't know that whole thing. Well, and also like it would make sense for Jerry to hire Deion because it doesn't make sense, but Deion's not winning.
Well, also Shador keeps dropping back and holding the ball forever. Your O-line cannot protect you. You have to get rid of the ball.
Even if they were like stellar, like you have to get rid of the ball. That's part of the job. And
then you stand in the end zone after you've thrown a pick six, like you're shocked by it. My man, you threw it right to him. That's on you. That's not on your O-line.
I tell you, of everyone in the whole Colorado debacle, I feel the most for Travis Hunter because he seems to be a good dude, but he seems to be very loyal to a fault to the Sanders family. And I hate that for him.
I need him to get drafted in the NFL to a good team that has no ties to Dion. I think he will really excel when he's kind of out of that bubble.
It will be interesting to hear from teams after the draft and during the draft about his interviews with the teams because they're going to ask about Dion.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right. So what are you going to go with for your why not this week?
Well, here's what I'm not liking. Okay. I'm not liking a lot of things right now. I am just not liking coming for people.
Yes.
Okay. So I haven't said it yet in today's episode, but it is kind of my trademark that people are stupid. And if we ever get merch, I feel like we need that shirt. People are stupid. But here's the thing. People are entitled to their own opinions.
Preach it.
Their own beliefs. And I have always said, since the dawn of time, I have always said that I do not care if we disagree on things, as long as you can tell me why you believe what you believe. Yeah. Okay. I don't care. I can be best friends with somebody I vehemently disagree on a lot of issues with, and I will be ride or die and support you until the cows come home because I know exactly why you think what you think and why you believe what you believe. Yep. I don't have to believe that. You're not insisting that I believe that. And I can still 1000% support you and put your sign in my yard and do anything I want to do. And that is okay because, as you have said, two things can be true. We can be best friends and I can vehemently disagree. Yep. And the thing is, if your only reason for what you believe is because you heard someone else say it, celebrity or not, I feel sorry for you.
Yes.
Like, and here's what I just want to say. Like, I can adore someone, worship the ground they walk on, would die to meet them and be their best friend, would give my right arm to work for them and not agree with them. Like, it does not change anything. It does not change anything. It doesn't change one feeling I have towards that person.
Yes.
Now, if someone comes out in media and is like, I am saying I support this, full stop, period, that's it. There's nothing else to it. I've never heard from them why. They didn't say in the statement. They just randomly one day said, I support this. I'm probably going to have some beef with that because I'm going to be like, well, why? Or where did that come from? But if somebody has shown me, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah. And who are you to think you can come for someone else? Yeah. Like, I don't understand that. I don't know where we got in society where we just decided like, oh, because I disagree with you, I'm going to come for you, or you're a bad person, or you deserve my wrath and judgment. You can stay out of my DMs, but you know what? You can go ahead and keep coming into my DMs because I'm not going to respond because you don't have to. Like, I don't have to answer to you, and neither does anyone else. Yeah. So if two things can't be true for you, if you can't be friends with someone who believes differently than you, that's on you. I feel sorry for you. You're missing out on a lot in life because all you're doing is like being friends with yourself, essentially. Like, I love that I can be friends with people who think and believe and do all these things differently and look different because it brings color to my life. And so if I do respond to you in my messages that you keep sending me, I'm just probably going to tell you I'm sorry for how you feel because you must lead a very sad life. Yep. That's all I can think.
Well said. I like that.
Unless you push me too far. And some of you get real close. And so Godspeed to you because as my son will tell you, I have a lot of sides and one of them is what he calls rage mode. So just be careful.
And you're real good with your words. So
yeah, just be careful. And don't come for people I love.
Nope.
Don't come for people I love. You can come for celebrities because I don't know them. Don't come for people.
Right. And they don't care either.
No. but don't come for people I love. You will, rage mode will come out. What are you loving right now? Moving on.
Listen, what I'm loving right now is an Instagram account that I think I followed since last year because you introduced me to it. It's Taylor Swift Styled on Instagram.
I adore her. I have to tell you a story about her. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, so what she does is she has her own book. Like, she has other things. She's not just one dimensional, but any outfit that Taylor wears, like, she finds the brand, the name, how much it costs. And it's always interesting to me.
And quick.
She's so quick. I want to know what her secrets are. I'm sure there's like some trick you can like Google picture something and it matches and all the things. But she's so quick with it. And I'm always fascinated by how much celebrities spend on like a pair of shoes, where to me, I'm like, $18,000 for a pair of boots seems drastic. But if I was a billionaire, that's probably like me going to spend $25 on a pair of boots. So like, you know, you have to be realistic. But I've just always thought it's fascinating that she has all of those outfits and you can see it, especially after TTPD, where we saw there were some names and things that she wore that were names of songs. So now
which you have started hypothesizing on, which I have welcomed you to the dark side. And I think you were
really
about that corset. Yes. Yeah. What's her name? Is it Sarah like Chappelle?
I think so.
Yeah. I can't think. I know her first name's Sarah. So she does have a coffee table book coming out. I call them coffee table books. I don't know if that's just an old person thing, but you know, like real fancy hardback books that are pretty. That is about Taylor Swift style. It's coming out like real soon. Anyway, she's going on a book tour. She's coming to Kansas City and I'm going.
How fun.
Yeah, I'm going. It's like October. I don't remember. It's on my calendar. God reminded it, and I'm going. So I'm just excited to meet her. I do love her. Yeah, it is so crazy. Yeah. We send it to each other all the time. We're like,
I know.
I mean, like a ring, like, I mean, just like something that looks like so simple and it's like $40,000.
Yeah. It's crazy. I just enjoy it. I like looking at all that stuff. But also I like seeing the brands, because you're right, like Vivienne Westwood, places like that you're like, listen, I know Gucci, I know Louis.
Yeah.
I know Hermes. I don't know all these other ones that billionaires know. So
well, and I'm hoping, I have pre-ordered her book too, but I am hoping that she gives a little detail into how the method to her madness. She has said before, she does a lot of really great work on social media. And she said before that a lot of times now, because she's been doing this for, I think, like 14 years, that a lot of it's like Taylor has like trends in her style. And so a lot of it, she'll instantly know like, oh, or she knows like, go check all the Vivienne stuff, go check the Stella stuff. Like she kind of knows some of those things. But I mean, it is like lightning quick.
It's so
and it's super interesting. I will say, and I'm hoping that she and I get to talk about this when we meet. I have been asking her and she keeps ignoring me and keeps leaving me on red. So Sarah, I know that you're watching this. I want to know who she is going to predict to make Taylor's wedding dress.
Oh,
is it? Because I think everyone thinks it's either Vivienne or Stella at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just, it's coming for you in person. You've been
leaving
me on red for far too long. Okay. So mine, I don't know how you pronounce this last name as per the usual. Annie Agar.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? So did you know that she has a podcast though?
She just started it.
Okay, so I'm not far behind.
Brand spanking new.
It's called The Offensive Line, which is a hilarious.
Love it.
So if you're not familiar, you've probably seen her if you scroll and your algorithm has anything to do with football. She's a blonde hair girl, or like, kind of like my color hair. She's an NFL insider and a social media breakout star. Anyway, she talks about like fantasy football odds, parlays, a lot, just pretty much everything football, but she roasts players and coaches.
She's good at it.
Listen, and if you're a Cowboys fan, you are not going to like her because she adores ripping them apart. She also has like current former players, celebrities, like all this stuff. Anyway, she always shares her picks ahead of like when the games start. Anyway, she does have a new show. It's on the Wondery app because all the famous people end up there.
Yeah.
But she is freaking hilarious. Like it's all satire and it is, oh my gosh. She does like it's It's kind of like those one-sided conversations like that other lady I had the other week where she's like pretends to have a meeting.
Yes.
Recap meetings. Oh my gosh. Y'all, she
They're
is so
so
funny. So if you like funny stuff and you like football, and those of y'all
She's
that
a
are
good
trying to get into fantasy football, she actually does have some really good picks and opinions. So
She knows what she's talking about with football. That's for sure.
yeah, I love her. She's on like all the socials. I follow her most on Instagram, but she's also on TikTok. So
yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
I think that's it for this week.
That's it.
All right. We'll be back next week to check in on our picks and our predictions. And we will recap what happens in the VMAs tonight.
Yes.
And I think that's it.
All right.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Bye, y'all. Because